This morning I was out in a grocery store and a teacher came up to me and he said, people are saying they're having to move out of the district because they can't afford the rent increases. They can't afford to buy a house. Some of them moving almost an hour, hour and a half away. Not just, by the way, service workers like janitors or bus drivers, even folks in the middle class, teachers, dental hygienists that you hear this from. I guess here's my concern. We have produced the most wealth in this area in human history. My district and the surrounding areas have $11 trillion of market cap. We produce so much wealth. Of course we have the resources to make sure that those who are working, who are driving the buses, who are cleaning the facilities, who are preparing the food, that they get a fair wage, that they get basic benefits, that they get affordable housing.
So Silicon Valley, of course, is known for being #1 in high tech, this high-tech innovation ecosystem, and yet the region is also #1 in some other things that aren't as pleasant. We have a huge number of unsheltered homeless people in our region. We have a large number of unaccompanied youth that are also homeless. We have not found a way to extend the prosperity created by the tech economy to the rest of the community.
We think about, a living wage. Now, a living wage in our community is about $45 an hour, and your average worker makes $15.
People have been displaced, people's moving out, but I'm asking, I ask people, what are you gonna do when there's no more people that will clean your house in here? What are you gonna do when there's no people that work in the restaurants?
Asian Americans comprise 34.5% of the population in Santa Clara County. That is huge. We are wide, we are dispersed across numerous sectors. So this assumption that we are doing fine, we are high income earning, we are overrepresented in tech, and we are not in pain and not a group in need is harmful and damaging. A number of us work in low paying jobs.
The lack of black leaders within tech companies, and what we typically hear from tech companies is that they're either trying or they don't, it's hard to find that talent. And we don't buy that, right? We don't buy that it's hard to find talented black people to put in leadership, and oftentimes people just don't see black people as the corporate look.
46% of our children in Silicon Valley live in families that can't provide the basics. Can't provide rent, right? Can't provide rent, food, transportation, healthcare. They can't do it. They need help from either the government or a nonprofit organization. The 3rd annual Silicon Valley Pain Index, this new report, which highlights 57 studies and 89 statistics, shows the extreme racial and social inequalities that we found in the previous reports. They still persist. When we developed the Silicon Valley Pain Index, we wanted to produce a document that showed the reality of the inequality around wealth and income in our community, but we wanted to really then present it to the politicians, to the community leaders, to the nonprofit groups, and say, here's our reality in Silicon Valley around wealth and income inequality. What policies can you put forward? What practices can you put forward to change the wealth and income inequality, which is horrific in Silicon Valley?
I appreciate the Silicon Valley Pain Index, not because it makes me feel comfortable, because it makes me feel uncomfortable. We need to see the uncomfortable data and facts and numbers and the wild inequality, and then connect it to the humanity, to the people who are suffering.
I represent 100,000 working men and women, and we use the report to share information with union members about not only the struggles that are happening in the community, but to discuss solutions as well.
When you look at things like the pain index, I think oftentimes people tend to only see the numbers, they tend to only see the lines. But I think what's really important for folks to remember is that behind all of these numbers, there's skin, there's bone. There are human beings who are affected by these things every single day.